A German captain grins as he takes a bite of an apple, but the man whips out a grenade, mimicking the captain and pretending to take a bite of it. All soldiers freak out, weapons raised, closing in, ready to open fire at any sign of trouble. The man couldn't care less, though, and starts juggling the grenade like a pro. He tosses it behind him as he bolts into a warehouse. Just moments before, when the Germans were about to execute 2 Soviet girls, a whistle pierces the air. The man, shirtless, comes running while waving his white pants. Soldiers jolt, training their guns on him, but he's totally chill, casually pulling on his pants as he approaches. The Germans are confused. Could this guy charging toward their guns be one of theirs? The captain barks questions, but the man stays mum. An aide-de-camp lands a brutal punch to his gut, making him hurl. As he vomits, he pulls 2 ribbons from his mouth, longer and longer, until an iron cross emerges. The aide-de-camp snaps to rigid attention. This medal is the Reich's highest honor, only awarded to legends. "Where'd you get that medal?" the captain demands. Suddenly, a bell rings. The aide-de-camp frisks himself for his pocket watch, but it's MIA. The man reaches behind his back and pulls the watch from his own rear end. The aide-de-camp gapes, trying to grab it back, but the man leaps into a well. As the aide peers down, a hand shoots out. Furious, he raises his fist, but the man points to the aide's pocket. The watch is back. The man then pulls off a series of silly skits, blowing imaginary bubbles, lifting invisible weights. His goofy pantomime triggers a roar of laughter from the Germans, lowering their guard. To them, he's just a clown, but the captain's eyes never leave him. The captain takes the apple bite. The man copies him, except he's biting a grenade. Soldiers aim their rifles, but the captain stays cool, eager to see the man's next move. The man juggles the grenade, then sprints into a cabin. A wooden barrel rolls out instead, making the Germans howl with laughter. They swarm the barrel, pounding it. The aide-de-camp lifts it, expecting a trick, only to find it empty. The man vanished under a dozen stairs. This ain't magic. It's straight-up sorcery. Tension spikes again, until a cat's meow comes from the roof. The man is up there, licking his leg like a cat. Everyone relaxes, even the captain clapping. His next stunt blows their minds. He stands a ladder vertical, then climbs it mid-air, balancing on his arms. Bro, Newton's rolling in his grave. He's even standing on the top rung, arms outstretched. As everyone gapes in awe, the captain barks again. "Where'd that medal come from?" The German captain stomps on the stake planted near the girl's foot, using her as a hostage to force the man into talking. Just minutes ago, a Soviet recon team captured a colonel. They swiped that iron cross from his uniform. The captive colonel spilled the beans. The Germans had these 2 girls, so the Soviets hatched a rescue plan. But outnumbered, they needed a balls-out move to pull it off. The captain orders his men to execute the girls. But looking at those innocent kids, no one can pull the trigger. An officer backhands a soldier, but the rest refuse to be killers. "Mercy for the enemy is suicide," the officer snarls. "You gotta grow a pair out here." He jams the pistol's muzzle against a young private's forehead. The kid squeezes his eyes shut, ready to meet his end. Boom! Here comes the man, waving his pants like a madman. Now he's scaling the roof. One slip and he's splatting on the cobblestones. But he's buying time for a play that could make or break this rescue. The man leans forward, shifting his weight, then plummets off the roof like a goddamn anvil. Everyone's jaws drop, crowding around. The captain sprints over, kicks him, no twitch. But when he turns, the tied-up girls are gone. Before he can process it, gunfire pops off. Every German drops like flies. Only one private's left, thinking he's in the clear. Then the Soviet captain slowly rises, stares him down, dead serious. "Why the hell are you here? You ain't got no business here."
Зачем вы сюда пришли? Сидели бы сейчас дома.
Yeah, the private didn't lay a hand on the girls, but they're on opposite sides of this war. The captain cocks an imaginary pistol with his thumb. Bang! The private's on the ground. Crisis handled here, but somewhere else. A Soviet cook's elbow deep in a stew pot when a tank rumbles up from the horizon. He shoots at a glance, goes back to stirring, then dives into a foxhole like a rabbit. Germans sweep the area, unloading into tents. Once they're sure it's clear, the tank crawls on. But the cook's scratching his head. What the hell? Did the Germans break our line? Boom! The tank crushes his cast iron stove like tin. He watches his stew slop across the dirt and flips his shit. My mama didn't raise me to let food go to waste, he roars, snatching an axe and scrambling up the tank. He clangs his axe against the hull, screaming curses in Russian. Inside, the crew freezes. That's an axe! Who's out there? They squint through the slit. Nothing. The hell's that noise? The Germans stay holed up in the tank, spinning the MG-42 like mad, spraying bullets. The cook smirks. Oh, so you want to play? I'll turn that pea shooter into scrap. He whacks the barrel. Crunch! It snaps like a pretzel. Now the Germans realize. He's on the damn roof. They floor the gas, trying to fling him off. The cook yanks off his apron, shoving it into the observation port. Blind as a bat, the tank crashes into a tent, wrapped in canvas like a burrito. The cook axes a hole in the tent, panting like a dog, but keeps banging on the tank. Then he sprints around it, making a racket, pretending there's a whole platoon. He even does a bad impression of a colonel. Jake, toss me the gas can. Copy that, sir. The cook shoves flaming straw into the tent. Smoke billows into the tank, turning it into a sauna. The Germans cough and wheeze. Vasya, gimme those anti-tank rockets. The Germans panic. A whole platoon out there? We're cooked. What the hell do we do? Stay here and choke on smoke or surrender? Better to give up. Maybe they'll let us live. They fling open the hatch. Weapons clank and clatter like a junkyard symphony. The cook yanks them out, blasts 2 rounds skyward. Anyone else in there? Toss them out, now! When the last rifle hits the dirt, the Germans turn, trembling. You're alone? Just your friendly neighborhood cook, he grins. Later, when the Soviet squad returns, they spot the tank. Enemy contact, take cover. The captain parts the bushes, then does a double take. Their cook's waving them over, apron still stained with stew. Grubs up, maggots, soup's getting cold. Are you kidding me? The captain barks, eyeing the tied-up Germans. These krauts surrendered to you? The cook grins. Hell yeah, and I scored their sausages. Smell that? A Soviet chef took down a tank with Hollywood-level theatrics. Sounds like a movie, but this is World War II reality. Ivan Sarita didn't just cook, he became a one-man intel machine. For single-handedly capturing a tank, he earned Russia's equivalent of the Medal of Honor. By 1945, this 26-year-old wasn't just a cook. He was a lieutenant, decorated twice over. Now that's how you go from kitchen to battlefield. These are 2 World War II short films, Cook and Circus. Unlike serious war movies, they take a unique angle. While there are funny parts, they also have tear-jerking moments and details that make you think. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.